Look, I think everybody works so hard to make a movie. Making movies is so difficult that you need that woosah moment. You need that like exaltation moment where you're like, look at what we did on the screen. I did hear you earlier say that it's going to premiere vertically. Talk to me about is what is a
Yes,
vertical? Are you talking about vertical in the business sense or literally vertical orientation?
vertical orientation. So I don't know if you guys have seen a lot of these like called the short dramas, but they're having a
Yeah,
huge moment right now in the US, and it's
in
vertical
and
video.
in
So
China.
oh yeah, yeah. It's been huge in China for about like a decade, and it's just kind of
Yeah.
like come over to like our side of the world, right? And so
Hmm.
it's massive. It's projected to be a $10 billion industry by
Hmm.
2028 in the US. It's huge. You know, these top apps are making 30, $40 million a month through the revenue they're making through short dramas. And so for us, we always knew we wanted to get into like film and TV. And when we signed publishing contracts with our authors, we're signing those 360 rights. So we always had the rights to like pursue this, but we were just never able to find like a way to do it that made sense for us. We would get the occasional offer from a studio being like, hey, you know, we want to buy this story or these film rights, but they're offering like $25,000 for those rights, and we're like, we just don't believe it's worth giving up IP for 25K, right? And
I think
so
you're right.
about like just yeah. So about just over a year ago, we saw that these vertical videos were having a moment. We saw that they looked really cool, and we saw an ad for another app, and I was like, we can do this. Like I don't know how to make a movie, but I can figure out how to make this, right? And
That's
so
interesting.
yeah, just basically found some external production companies that we could work with, and they could show us the ropes. We've built out like an Inkit Media, like an internal production studio since then, but really we're just like, how do we do this? And the unit economics are right in terms of like how much it costs to produce an hour of vertical content when you don't need to like dress the whole room, and you can use like one
Can you share
camera
how
and
much
all
it
of these
costs to
things.
produce an hour of vertical content? Can you give us an approximation?
Yeah,
On
it's like between like 180 and 250K for an hour of content, which
okay,
is
so
quite reasonable.
indie film prices, let's say ultra low SAG prices, but with this massive
Mhm.
upside,
Yeah, and we're
that's crazy.
yeah, exactly. And for us now, just like, you know, the money we're making through the app is like insane compared to like what we were being offered from these studios. And it's we've been seeing explosive growth. We're making, you know, millions and millions of dollars every month through this content now. We only have 27 shows on the app right now, but we're launching a new show every single Friday. And since we got into that rhythm of launching a new show every Friday, we've just been seeing like explosive growth, and people are really loving the content, and people are on their phone all day, every day. They're very used to consuming content
Yes,
in this
yes.
vertical format. Um, and then, yeah, coming soon is this next step of like feature length horizontal. We have started shooting everything square so that now we have the option to do both vertical and horizontal because we want to give
Hmm.
ourselves like more space to do like living rooms as well. But when we started, the first 20 shows we did were just vertical, and we did something for a while called vertical, and now we're just shooting everything square so we have more flexibility.
This is fascinating to me, man. Like, so Nick, I think we talked about this before. So every person in the world has their like story they'll tell you about the thing they should have invested in that they missed on, and they would have been a millionaire or a billionaire, right? Like I was really early on Bitcoin and I just didn't know what it was and just said no. But I was like, pitch that. And really early, like when it was 35 cents a coin or something insane like that. Um, and every single person I talk to has a story like this, right? Um, so about a year ago, someone pitched this to me. They said, we're grounding up producers to make this kind of content. It's blowing up. It's making tons of money. Do you want to do it? And I just was like, I don't have any expertise in that. Like, I don't think I would do a good job. Like, and also, is it a film? What is it? And we just come off Quibi,
Mhm.
and it's like, oh, here's Quibi
Yep.
again, just repackaged. Uh, I don't want to do it. And so maybe this will end up, Emma, being one of those stories where it's like, God dang it, I should have produced some vertical
It's
movies.
already one of those stories.
It's already one of those
So
stories, right, Nick? So
yeah,
yeah.
so I was just thinking. So Emma, this is again, it's very cool, and like I think we're feeling your excitement through this conversation because you're seeing it. You're seeing it going from, I mean, it's one thing to go from a writer to a feature, but to go from a reader, like that has to be
Mm-hmm.
super exciting because it's like your platform created a writer, right? Created a creator because they were consuming so much, they loved it so much, and they tried their hand at it. One of the questions that I have for you is that did they have to produce that full entire book? Or was it like, I'm going to put out a part of the story and then that's where you grabbed onto it and says, oh, okay, you've got something going here. Let's then build it into the full story. Then it turns into the TV show. Did this person write the whole book day one?
Yeah, so it changes case to case. I believe in the case of Manjari, she had written the full book or like the first book in the series when we picked it up. Now there's 3 books in the series, so we fleshed it out a lot over the year. But definitely tons of authors that do write on Inkitt, they just write the first few chapters, and
Right.
smart writers are really good at interacting and activating their audience and helping their audience kind of not co-write the story, but they take a lot of insights from them. So a lot of writers will write up to a certain point and then ask for feedback and be like, did you like this or do you like this and where should I go? Because obviously when their readers feel more involved, they're going to engage more, which kind of helps influence the virality of that story. And so a lot of writers too, I know I speak to authors who are they get really frustrated with their male lead, for example. And they're like, I am sick of this guy. I want to kill him off. I'm over him. And they'll ask their audience, be like, would you mind if I kill off Xavier or something? And the audience be like, oh my God, don't. I'm in love with him. I'll abandon you and I'll leave your story. So then they kind of kill them quietly in their head and write the version of the story that the people want, which is really cool, right? Historically, when you write a book, it's you spend years of your life writing it, you hand it over to a publisher, and you just sit back and wait and see what happens. So the ability to get that live feedback and to change the story. And in the Galatea app, we have a team called Story Intelligence where we're testing different storylines with real readers, right? So if the 5 of us showed up to a story, we might all get a different version. We're all getting 20% of traffic. We're all going to a different variant of the story. And we're seeing what people are engaging with. How fast are they reading it? Are they converting and making a purchase at the end of reading that chapter? And we see what cliffhanger is best, what pace is best, all of those things, and then change the story. So the story that someone reads today and the story someone reads 3 months from now could be different. The foundation's not going to change. The core moments aren't going to change, so we can still have a conversation about it. But there's certain elements that will change just about getting people to convert. So I think that's so cool is that you can make those changes live and give authors that feedback. Authors are so hungry to know these insights, which previously they never had access to, which is cool.